If I were moving to Kelowna today, knowing everything I know about this market, these are the condos I'd be buying right now. Some of them may not be the flashiest, some of them may not be the newest, but the ones that actually make sense, whether it's for a lifestyle, location, or long-term value. Because let's be honest, not all Kelowna condos are really created equal, and there's a few of them I wouldn't even touch with a 10-foot pole. So today I'm going to walk through the specific condos I'd buy if I were moving to or shopping for a condo in Kelowna myself. This will be based on real numbers and location and what each building has to offer. And the first condo we're going to look at is at Water Street by the Park. So this building, this one is a brand new building. It just opened up for occupancy not too long ago. There's two buildings right now. There's a third one planned for this complex. This is currently the tallest building in Kelowna at 42 stories. And then the one next to it in front of it is around, I think, 32 stories. And then on the 6th floor is where all the amenities are. And I'll show you that here in a second. And then the floors below that are all parking, and then there's a commercial aspect to the building as well. Now this condo that we're going to be taking a look at is on the 8th floor, unit 804. So it's a 2-bed, 2-bath, almost 900 square feet. And again, it was built recently, or occupancy was taken recently. But in this building, you can find 1, 2, and 3-bedroom condos. The 1-bedrooms right now are just under, they're around the $500,000 mark. And then it just obviously goes up from there. There's ones right now that are 1.7, 1.8 million as you go up closer to the penthouse. And another aspect of this, again, is the amenities and location. So you are downtown Kelowna. I'll just go through some images here. So you are right next to the bridge. So if you're on the far side of the bridge, you do get that bridge traffic. If you're on, this sort of side facing north, you won't get that as much of that traffic noise. And then where the pool and stuff is on the 6th floor, that's where all the amenities are on the 6th floor. So this unit here, this one does face south, so you will get the traffic below you there, or over here actually, and you're facing south, but you still get a great view. Most of the units here, you get a great view. This unit itself, you are, what's the address on this one? 1626, so you're in the tall building. 1626 Water is the tall building, and then 238 Leon is the shorter one. So the clear shot of downtown. So if you are on the the north side of the building, you'll get a clear shot of downtown and the lake and the marina and all that. It's a great location, full gym in this building. So if you are looking for a building specifically downtown, this building with all the amenities, this building is it. So all the amenities you could ever ask for. First of all, starting with the gym, full gym. So there's a spin and yoga studio as well. Next to that, outside, there's one of those push tracks where I forget what it's called, but you push the weights back and forth. And then you go to a steam room and a sauna. You have an arts and crafts room. And right next to that is the kids room. You have a golf simulator. You have a full games room as well, pool tables, foosball, air hockey, all that. That's part of the games room as well. Another shot of the games room. And then full lounge and entertainment area, outside barbecue area. This is the full lounge. It's basically the one full side of the building. And outside again. And then you have fire pits between or next to the pool. This is a wine room, a wine tasting room. So I guess you could rent it out and have someone come in, or a winery come in, and you can taste all their wines and have an event there with family and friends. And then a full movie theater. You're allowed dogs in this building. So there's 2 dog grooming stations and a dog wash. And then the pet relief area there. And this again is all on the 6th floor. And then co-working spaces and private working spaces as well. Boardroom. Outside between the buildings, you have the pool and the hot tub. And all your loungers, little putting green. and that's a shot of it there. So there's, for amenities, if you're looking for amenity rich building located near downtown in a newer building, this one is certainly the one that you would want to look after. Now, the next one on my list is at the Verve. So in terms of location, I'll just show you where that is first. We're at 555 Yates Road. In this building complex, there's actually 6 different buildings. Just zoom in on that here. So this is where we're at on Yates Road. So it's this area here. And then in terms of, location to downtown, we are, you're very close to downtown. So in terms of where we were on the last building, was in this area here right by the bridge. And then we're up in Glenmore there. So a little bit quieter area. And again, 6 different buildings in that complex. This one, we're in the red one for $460,000. So depending on your budget and all that and where you want to be, it's $460,000. You're on the 3rd floor, so not quite the top floor. 2 bed, 2 bath, but you're at 1,320 square feet. So this one was built in 2006, so it's slightly older, about 20 years old. But some of them have done quite a bit nice. Some of them you'll see in these complexes that they've done nice updates in some of them. And then again, in terms of, just check out the location if you're not familiar with the area. So if you are familiar with downtown, you're slightly north of downtown. Perfect location if you're going to university. It's a short drive to the university, or if you're working, downtown, or the south end of the city as well. It's a great location. I'll just go through some of the images on this one as well. As you can see, a lot of space here because it's about 1,320 square feet. Little balcony facing inside the complex. This one also does have a pool. It's right in the middle of everything there. Your unit here would be in the red building and facing the pool that way. And that's the building, the entrance. Looks like there's been some updates to this one in terms of lighting. The kitchen looks somewhat original, maybe not the white. So that's your living space there. The big bedrooms in this one. In the older buildings, probably anywhere in Canada, but specifically in Kelowna, you'll have a lot more space for less price. So if you are looking for space, you might want to look into the slightly older buildings. Again, huge bedrooms. This one has a little den as well, a little working area for if you work from home. It's perfect. Then outside in the Verve complex, you have sitting areas. There with the pool, there's also outdoor volleyball, and then this building does allow pets as well. I don't think there's much of a size restriction as well. I've seen big dogs here, and then they have the pet relief areas outside in between the buildings, underground parking, and then in terms of location, that's where your condo is. So the Verve is a great one if you're looking for location. You are out of downtown, which is nice if you're looking for a little bit quieter but still central. The Verve and the Glenmore area overall might be a great option for you. Now the strata fee for this particular unit is $563 per month. Now remember, this is also 1,320 square feet. So if you think that's high, it is on I would say the higher end for strata fees in Kelowna. Your tip average is probably around $400. I have a condo in the Lower Mission, and we pay I think it's $423 or something like that, and it's just under 1,000 square feet. So yeah, you're in Kelowna on average, you're paying around $400. So keep that in mind, keep that in the budget if you are looking. And the next condo, we're gonna go way further north by the airport. So you can see in this picture here, the airport is here, and we're up in the Quail Ridge neighborhood at 1875 Country Club Drive, unit 1317. So this one is a 2 bed, 2 bath. I've been in this one. I've shown this one a couple times actually. Some great value here, $359,000. Now, one thing I will point out with this complex, so there's 2 different buildings, 1875 and 1873. You are paying quite a bit higher in strata fees. That might be one of the reasons why it hasn't sold yet. In terms of financing and all that, when you get your mortgage, you have to build in the monthly strata fee into that as well. So which, can affect your borrowing power. $617 for 970 square feet. Now this building does include your heating and cooling within your strata fee, which most of them across the city do not. Some do, but for the most part, do not include heating and cooling. You pay that on your own. But this one does include it. So you can kind of lower that by maybe $100 there. And, you're kind of balanced out to what a typical strata fee would be in Kelowna. But I get it in terms of financing, that why you may not be able to qualify for that, or why you might go for something a little newer or closer to the city, or pay a little bit more being closer to the city. Now, in terms of location, I should probably show you that. Again, I said it was by the airport, but if you don't know the city itself. So downtown here, where we were at the first unit, Glenmore, where we were at the second one, and further north down here for the third one at 1875 Country Club Drive. Now, I'll just go through the unit itself. It is basically all original. It's even got the, original carpeting and everything in there as well. So obviously this is reflected in the price at $359,000, and you are in terms of the location of this one. So you're right by the airport. So if you're a traveler, right by the airport. If you're a golfer, there's 2 championship golf courses right out your door, and then you're right kind of next to a short drive or short walk even to the UBCO. So let's show you that on the map too, just to give you an idea. So this is where your condo is, University of BC, UBCO right here. I think there's a path that you can walk, or if you have your car, it's a short drive. So that is 1875 Country Club Drive. Show you a few more pictures here of the layout. So the layout in these ones are great because the bedrooms are separate. So you don't see a lot of that in the newer builds either. And the space you get for $359,000, you're under 1,000 square feet. So not bad at all if you are in the market right now. Now the next one on my list, this one is another newer one as well. And the reason I picked this one, so this one's located in the the upper Mission. And again, I'll show you the location in terms of everything else we've looked at. So you're way at the opposite end of town, way up kind of in the hills there, but you are in a great area. So the upper Mission's beautiful area in terms of downtown. That's where you are. And then the last one we looked at, we were way over here. So complete opposite end of town. But the reason I picked this one, being a newer build, I'm not a huge fan of the newer builds, specifically due to the space you get for what you have to pay. Yes, you get a ton of amenities like in the first one we saw. I totally understand that. But this one here for $554,000, the asking price, 2-bed, 2-bath, you're still getting almost 1,000 square feet, which is kind of unheard of with these newer builds. This one, as you can see, is built in 2025. These are some of the finishes here. Beautiful kitchens. Well, of course, you get the stainless steel appliances and all that. Island. You have your own laundry room, which most newer ones only have like a little closet with a stacker, and then a little working space there. And then again, the bedrooms are set on separate sides, which is rare in these new builds. And yeah, that's the living space there. Then in terms of the upper Mission, see if I can get to a spot here. There's your bathroom, second bedroom. And then large patios on this one as well. Now looks like from this one you might get a lake view, but below or in front of you, so there's 2 more buildings in this complex. It's called Ascent, and so there's 4 buildings total in this complex. These ones are actually pretty close to being done. And then in front of that is all the new shopping centers. So you have your Save on Foods, Shoppers Drug Mart, liquor store, insurance. There's a dollar store. There's pretty much everything you'd need kind of right out your front door. Let's see if there's another. Oh, this is all the amenities section here as well. So full kitchen you can rent out. There's a little games room as well. And then, lounges and working spaces and stuff like that too. So pretty good amenities there. But let's just zoom in on see if this is a better, I'll zoom in here. Yeah, so you're right at the kind of the base of the upper mission on Frost Road, and then all the space in here again is that new Save On Foods and all that. So in terms of location, it's not a bad location. You are kind of up in the hills a little bit away from downtown. So if you work downtown, it's probably a 20-30 minute drive in the morning, depending on traffic, depending on what time you leave. So keep that in mind if you're a little bit further out. But personally, I think the building quality of this one is great. The size for the price you pay is great. And the location it's a beautiful location there in the upper mission. Now the next one on my list is in the lower mission. So just down the hill from where we were in the upper mission. So zoom out here. So where we were up here. We were up here on Frost Road, and then down into the lower mission where you're like a block from the beach. So, and just as a full disclosure, I do own a condo in this building, but the reason I own a condo in this building because I think it's great. So this one is a little bit older. You're built in 1991, so it's 30 years old at least. And you, again, being in an older building, you get some space. So this one's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,152 square feet in a great location. So in this complex, there's 2 big condo buildings, and then there's 4 sort of townhouse style condos as well. So and what I mean by that, I wonder if there's a picture of it. Yeah, there's an overhead picture of the complex here. So these are the 2 big buildings here, and then next to it is what I call the pods. So they're the townhouse style condos. Going back to the unit itself. So this one has been updated quite a bit. It's got new baseboards, probably freshly painted, and it's got newer flooring. And this one, and the kitchen has been somewhat updated. You can see, they got different countertops, sink. The cabinets in this one, they might look newer, but they are original, just painted. That's kind of what we did to ours. But in terms of what you get with this one, you get a ton of space, 1,150 square feet for $449,000. So great value there. Now, another thing that adds huge value to this one is some of the condos in this complex actually come with detached garages. So I should go back to these here for you. So the unit itself here, you can see, so you have the deck. This one you're facing kind of into, where the entrance of the building is. And then that's, your layout. You're kind of in a corner, tucked into a corner. But this one has a detached garage. And a carport, I should mention as well. So you have your own garage and your own carport for $449,000 in a great location. This building has a pool as well, sauna, a few amenities. There's a gym. This one also has a park. So if you have a big dog, there's no pet restrictions in terms of how many pets you can have. Yes, there's restrictions, but in terms of size of dog, nope, no size restriction there. And then there's essentially a dog park, a huge dog park. It's a great one. Now, one thing I will say is try to get one that's maybe on one of the top floors. I think this one's on the top floor. Parts of the building, depending on what side you're on, there's only 2 levels, and on the other side there's 3. So in terms of sound, sound up and down in this building is not the greatest, but side to side is. So just keep that in mind if you're looking in there. Now the strata fee in this one is $469,000, so right around the average for what you would pay in Kelowna. And that's for 1,152 square feet. So not bad at all. And it does come with that garage and carport. Now those are 5 of the buildings I'd be looking at if I were purchasing in Kelowna right now. Everyone's looking for that, that perfect balance between lifestyle value and long-term potential, but it's tough to know what's actually worth it. So if you want to skip the guesswork, we really should connect. I'll help you narrow down which condos truly match what you're after and which ones to avoid. So this will help you save a ton of time and probably a lot of money too. So send me a text message to the number on the screen today to get started. And if you're wondering what the condo market is doing right now, check out this next video right here.